Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful lecture that completely re-examines a core concept you find all over the Quran.
So get this. The root word for witness, it shows up in the Quran about 160 times. I mean, that number alone should tell you something, right? This is a huge deal.
Well, according to the thinker Mustafa Islamalu, the answer is this incredible call for scientific discovery and ethical living. It's a really dynamic meaning that he argues has just been tragically lost over time.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll build the foundation of the whole idea. Then we'll see how it got changed, look at the consequences, and finally figure out what our true role is supposed to be.
Okay. So first things first, we have to get a handle on the Quran's core philosophy of knowledge. Its epistemology.
Islamul argues that this one verse, this is it. This is the pillar of the entire Quranic knowledge system. And it's a system that stands firmly on two legs.
So you can see here, this lays out the perfect balance at the very heart of this worldview. You've got two sides. On one, there's the ghaib, the unseen, that's the realm of faith. And on the other, you have shahadat, the seen. This is the entire observable universe, the world of knowledge, exploration, and discovery.
So, what happens when this perfect two-legged balance gets broken? Well, that's exactly where the problem starts.
Just think about it. A balanced system, totally strong and stable. It's like a person standing firmly on 2 feet. You've got faith in one realm, and you've got scientific knowledge in the other. Perfectly balanced. But here's the twist. Islamalu argues that over time, tradition came along and added this wobbly prosthetic third leg. It's called zan, and it's basically just conjecture, opinion, guesswork. And tacking that on, it completely destabilized the whole structure.
See, when you start injecting guesswork into things that are supposed to require either firm faith or actual verifiable knowledge, the whole system just gets thrown off balance. And according to him, this is the point where the deviation really began. And this wasn't just some abstract philosophical problem. This imbalance had huge real-world consequences. Because as this idea of conjecture took hold, some really essential concepts started to lose their original, powerful Quranic meaning.
I mean, just take the word for witnessing itself, shahadat. It had this grand, incredible meaning, a call to explore and understand all of reality, and it got shrunken down into just a little physical gesture you do in prayer. Islamoglu even tells this crazy story about seeing a literal fistfight break out in a mosque over the correct way to move your finger during this ritual. They were completely missing the cosmic point.
And it happened with other words too. The word keshif, which means discovery, it stopped being about scientific breakthroughs and inventions. Instead, it got pushed into the realm of mystical acts and magic tricks. Like pulling a rabbit out of a hat? But this next one is maybe the most crucial of all, the term shaheed. In the Quran, this word is used for God, for prophets, for angels. It's meant to describe a living witness, an active model of faith. But its meaning got completely twisted, completely flipped, to mean someone who is dead, a martyr.
And this kind of massive shift in meaning, it doesn't just happen by accident. Islamolu suggests this was a deliberate change. It likely happened during the Umayyad dynasty, a time when the state desperately needed an ideology that would encourage men to go die in its military campaigns. The meaning was changed to serve a political purpose.
Okay, so if all these fundamental words have been so completely misunderstood, what's our role supposed to be in all of this? Where do we fit in?
Well, to get a handle on it, just picture a courtroom. Right? There are basically 3 fundamental roles you can play. So the idea here is that the Quran's constant, relentless emphasis on witnessing is a profound directive. It's asking you to actively choose the role of the witness. And by making that choice, you consciously avoid the other 2 roles. You are not the judge, and you are not the accused. Your job is simply to observe. And this idea, this refusal to judge, it's captured perfectly in this one incredibly powerful story. A follower kills an enemy in battle right after the enemy declares his faith at the very last second. And the Prophet Muhammad rebukes him, asking this absolutely penetrating question. Did you open his heart to see? The point is you can't know another person's inner reality, so your role can't be to judge.
And all of this, everything we've talked about, it leads us to the final, central message of this whole perspective. The entire argument really gets summed up in this one powerful statement. Our purpose here isn't to possess or control or own the world around us. It's to observe it, to understand it, and to bear witness to it.
But it's really important to get this. Being a witness is not a passive thing at all. It's an incredibly active state. It requires your full awareness, your curiosity, your honesty. It means engaging your mind, all your senses, and your conscience. It's a total conscious engagement with reality.
So, that leaves us with one final powerful question to really think about. You are a witness to your time, to your world, to your own life. So if your very existence is your testimony, what story is it going to tell?